Welcome to Rock Your Block. I'm Trudy Richardson, your host, and with me today is co-host Edward Richardson. Hi, Ed.
Hey.
On our last show, we talked about health and fitness with Jada Richardson. Ed and I decided to do a follow-up and show you a few healthy dishes that get us through the week. And so the first morning meal is breakfast. And we found that it is very important for us to have something to eat and drink in the morning to get us started and get us going through the day. And so one of the things that I made, because I am on, as I discussed the last month, on a paleo diet, I decided to make some healthy bread. And one of the breads I made is banana bread. And the other bread that I made is pumpkin bread. Now, the pumpkin bread is what I call a dump bread, and that is where you take everything and you just dump it in a bowl. And because of time, I'm not going to be able to show you how to actually mix it, but I'll show you some of the ingredients. The ingredients that go in the pumpkin bread is pumpkin, 2 cups of pumpkin, a cup of oil, cinnamon, nutmeg, and pumpkin spice to your taste. I used, since I'm watching the kinds of sweeteners, I used cane sugar, 2 eggs, and I used almond flour, which is almond flour. And basically you dump all of this in a bowl, and once it's dumped into a bowl, you put it in a small, I don't know the kind of pan, what you call the pan, you put it in a small pan, you spray it with cooking oil, and you put it in the oven, and it takes an hour. So we have some guests with us today, Tia and Michelle, and I'm going to allow you to taste the pumpkin bread. But before I do, let me tell you about this other bread. This is paleo banana bread. And in the paleo banana bread, what you do is you use 2 mashed bananas, you use 2 cups of almond flour, you use coconut milk, water, honey, and cinnamon to taste. And you do the same thing. You spray it with spray the pan, and then you bake it for an hour. And Michelle, I know that you are gluten intolerant, so I specifically made the bread for you so that you could try the bread. And so I'll cut you
so good.
a piece of you and Tia both.
Trudy, I think did you leave out an ingredient? I didn't hear you mention about butter.
There is no butter in either one of these breads because, like I said, I am watching what I eat and what I ingest, and butter has a lot of fat in it. It's not that I would say it's all bad, but I try to leave out of my diet as much butter as I can, and I fill it up with other ingredients, and there are a lot of fruits that you can put in.
Thank you.
There you go. There are a lot of fruits that you can put in baked goods that will allow you to have still that buttery taste without using the use of butter in it.
Now, is it hard to make bread when you're using like gluten-free flours? Because I don't think there's like a binder or anything.
Well, the binder is the almond flour, and it is different than the regular white flour or wheat flour in that the almond flour, or I could have used coconut flour, has a lighter consistency. So as I'm learning how to cook without flour, I'm a eyeballer cook type person. I don't really measure a lot of stuff, so I know what things are supposed to look like. So when I made the bread today, the recipe called for I think like 1.5 cups of flour. I found that I put like 2 1/4 cups of flour to get what I felt was the right consistency to bake the banana bread.
Because the breads are beautiful.
They are beautiful.
So well, taste them and tell me how you like them. Ed, would you like a piece of bread?
Absolutely.
Would you like a piece of both?
Oh, this is
Half
good.
and half.
Okay.
This is good. This is wonderful. It's so moist.
It is.
What makes it moist? It's so moist.
I think the eggs make it moist, and For, like in the banana bread, for the sweetener, I used half agave and half honey. I did not put any sugar
You can't tell.
in the banana bread.
Agave, I'm not familiar with that.
Agave is it looks like maple syrup, and it comes from a plant called an agave plant. And they take the plant and they extract the sweetener out of it, and they use it as an alternative to sugar.
Wow.
Because there are a lot of alternatives to sugar out there today.
This is wonderful.
And so this is one of the things that
You have blueberries in here?
we have blueberries. I did not mention that I did in the banana bread. Of course, like I said, I'm in my wheelhouse. I love to cook, and I'm always experimenting, which is not so much to my husband's liking, but
I'll survive.
I constantly experiment. So when I made the banana bread, I said, I had bought blueberries for something else. So I said, well, let me try the blueberries in there. And how does it taste?
It's wonderful. This is your recipe. This is not something you
Right. This
read.
is, well,
This is your recipe.
I saw the recipe, and what I do when I find recipes, I always add or take away.
Okay.
Like, for instance, the banana bread. The banana bread was supposed to be made strictly with water. I decided to put coconut
It's wonderful.
milk in it.
Good
It was
taste.
supposed to have strictly honey, but I decided to play around and used half honey and half agave syrup. It did not have, I added vanilla to it. So I add my own flavors to foods as I cook them, because that's one of the things, as a foodie person, I have a gift, I feel, to know what flavors mix with other foods to kind of round them out and make them taste good.
Right. It works. It's very good.
It's very good.
Very good.
And this is Mr. Audience, this is Mr. Finicky, so if he says it's good, then I know it's good, because he does not eat everything. So I hope you're enjoying the bread, and now Ed is going to mix together something for you to kind of wash that down with.
Finally, I get a chance to talk. Okay, here we go. As she said, you know, this is what we do. Everybody has their own way of doing things and has their own recipes and everything, but it's nothing like good juice in the morning. And what I have in front of me here, just to share with you, we have strawberries, we have grapes, we have pears, we have oranges, we have bananas, and we have our trusty juicer here. Now, some juicers produce a lot of pulp. This happens to be one of the juicers that does, and the pulp can be used in other recipes later on for other things that you want to do, especially in making breads and cakes. And as you can see, just fantastic in that, and I ate all of my cake up greedily. And anyway, here we go. What I'd like to do right now is I'd like to make our guests, Tia and Michelle, and my beautiful bride, some juice that we have in the morning. So I've taken the liberty of chopping some things up. I'm going to put them in the juicer, which makes a little bit of noise. And first thing that we want to do is turn our juicer on. Now, what we've done here is we've just juiced up all of the pears, the oranges, and what I'm going to do now is juice in the strawberries. We're mixing this all together. All of these nutrients just get caught in the pan here in the juicer. And then what I'm going to do, because I like to, my juice a little bit cold, and I like to add a banana to it. And you can't put a banana in this juicer. It doesn't work. But you can put a banana, and I've already put one here in our blender. You can see. Oops, there you go. And we're going to add some ice to that, and we're going to really have this really nice juice drink. So I'm going to continue now, because now I'm going to add in the grapes and the strawberries, and we're going to have enough juice. I'm going to add a little ice in it, and you'll see. So here we go.
Looks good.
Will taste good too. So, okay, so now I'm just going to let that the residual juice drain into the pan, and then we're going to perform a magic trick, and that's getting the juice out of this pan into this blender. And if it spills because we're doing this show live, you have my permission to laugh just tremendously. However, I must warn you, I am not a skilled professional. So we have our juice here, and we're just going to pour it in. You can see all that going in, all that juicy goodness going in, okay? All right, and it just covered my banana. My banana is now sitting in there. And then what I'm going to do, because I like my juice cold, I'm going to add some ice. And I just pulled out a couple of cups of ice. I'm just going to add that in there, okay? 1 cup, 2 cups. God, I hope this doesn't overflow, but we'll take our chances. It is kind of up to the brim, so if it overflows, it's someone else's fault. I think it's Lisa's fault. Hi, Lisa. Anyway, here goes. All right, so we're gonna start our blender on ice crush. Then we're gonna move it to liquefy. Then we're gonna have our juice, and then I've got some. Ms. Trudy, if I can enlist your support, we have some cups here that we can do. And I tell you what, we're going to come back in a second. I'm going to go ahead and spare you the noise of the blender. And when we come back, I will be pouring the juice, and we'll be having our taste testers who after eating a delicious cake for our delicious breakfast, will have some delicious juice. How about that?
You don't have to knock yourself out to prevent diabetes. Get real. If you're over 45 and overweight, you can prevent diabetes. Lose 5 to 7% of your body weight, get 30 minutes of physical activity 5 days a week, and eat healthy. Take the first step. Talk to your healthcare provider. Prevent diabetes.
The most dangerous thing
our kids have to deal with today
isn't violence.
it isn't drugs, it's unhealthy food.
too many of our kids are overweight.
They're headed for diabetes, heart problems, or worse.
They need to eat healthy things like vegetables, fruits, high-fiber vegetarian foods.
As our kids grow, the right foods can help protect them from obesity, heart problems, diabetes, and even cancer. To find out more, call for a free booklet or visit our website, kidsgethealthy.org.
Welcome back. While you were away, we just blended everything and poured everything, and now we have our blended juice. And cheers.
Cheers.
This is delicious.
What do you think?
This is good.
This is wonderful.
Really good.
Like it?
Very good.
This is grapes, strawberries, orange, pears, apples, and no sugar. Okay? There's no artificial anything. And just to make it cold, we added a little ice, which of course adds a little water to it. And this makes a great drink for breakfast. It'll also give you a little, a little boost, because those nutrients getting right into your body in the morning is better than coffee.
This is great.
And to go with the juice, I have 2 lunch recipes. And my first recipe is lettuce chicken wraps with sweet potato pinwheels. And Tia and Michelle, if you'll try some of those.
Looks delicious.
And the other option that I have for lunch that I often do, I make it up during the week, and I have mixed greens with onions, and to that I will add carrots. And I make this up and I just put it in a bag, so when it's time for me to go to work, all I have to do is take some out of the plastic bag, and there's mixed peppers.
Looks so good.
And to that, I'll add tomatoes. And to that, I have some chicken that I already broiled up earlier. And here's the salad. And to this, I add, for a lot of people who want maybe a little crunch to their salad, I have some sunflowers, so I add a little bit of sunflowers to that. And as I was speaking earlier, I try to stay as healthy as possible. So this is my own blend of salad dressing, which is a combination of lemon, orange juice, olive oil, garlic, salt, and pepper. And I'll just put a little bit over this and toss it up. And here you have a nice salad for lunch. And Tia and Michelle, I'll put a little bit on a plate, and
Thank you.
you can
So
tell me
wonderful. What is the sauce? Your sauce.
the sauce. The sauce is consistency of sweet chili sauce, and there is a soy sauce, and I can't remember the name of it, that has no sugar in it. And so that's what the
Thank you.
Ed, would you like a wrap?
Not right now, sweet. You keep going.
Okay. And so you are going to make a
NutriBullet.
NutriBullet. And while you're making a NutriBullet, I am going to prepare one more quick dish, and that is a stir fry that would be a quick, easy dish for dinner.
Okay.
So I'm going to turn this on.
Okay, what we've got here is a nutrient extractor, and there are lots of them out there on the market. But the thing that's different from a nutrient extractor versus a juicer is that a nutrient extractor uses the whole vegetable, skin, stems, seeds, and everything. Now, I do want to say this. This is what works for us. If you're going to change your diet, or you're going to change your eating habits, so to speak, then you really do need to check with a good licensed professional to make sure it's okay if you have any health issues or any food allergies or anything of that nature. So this is what works for us. You can add your own ingredients, of course, in the nutrient extractor. And here I've got a combination of fruit and vegetables. I'd rather sort of drink my fruit and vegetables than eat them because I'm not a big fan of salads, but I do know that vegetables are important. So what I've done is I've combined some fruit and vegetables. You can see I have my beloved bananas. I love my bananas. And I have in here some blueberries. Is that what we have in here?
Blueberries.
Blueberries, yeah. And we have some broccoli, and we have some celery, and I've added in a little honey. And I put in what we call superfoods. Superfoods are highly nutritious foods that come in a powdered form. You can find them all over the place in your organic stores or wherever it is you go. You can look for them. And these things actually help to boost the nutritional value of what we're about to see. Now, what I do with this is that there's a little line on here where you add water. So I've prepared some water, and we're just going to add water almost to that line. And once again, because I like things cold, and everyone's different, I'm going to add some ice in here. Okay? And I think I'll push it down just a little bit. All right? Finish my little couple pieces of ice. We'll screw on the top, or actually in this case, the bottom. All right? Remember to follow the manufacturer's directions. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in here and turn it on. It's going to make a ton of noise. But what's going to happen as a result is it's going to be really good. So here we go. So all of that's all nicely blended in there. And we'll just take our top off. And once again, if you're fasting or you don't have time to eat a salad, well, you got everything that you want in the salad right there. And once again, I know some of you own this device. It's a life changer. Just pass that over for a little bit for everybody. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
So between your juice and your nutritional drink here, okay, sweetheart, I'm just going to give you a little bit.
Okay.
All right.
Like a salad.
There you go. All right. To life. Cheers. Yes.
Tastes just like a salad.
It's a salad,
Salad
in a
in a
blender.
glass.
All right. All right. That's it. Honey, back to you. What you got going?
Say, well, I was in the middle of trying to make a quick stir fry. And in the stir fry, there's chicken. There is broccoli and carrots and garlic and mixed peppers. This particular dish would be a perfect dish for dinner. With stir fry, the thing to do so you can cook it in about 5 to 10 minutes is to prep everything the night before, cut up your vegetables, cut up your carrots, and cook your rice the night before, and then when you get home, you can dump everything in the wok and have a healthy dinner for your family in about 5 or 10 minutes.
Let's tell our audience how this has changed our lives, because we started off at the beginning of the year talking about New Year's resolutions and what we're going to do to reinvent ourselves, both from a health standpoint of view, spiritually, getting involved in the community. I mean, if you guys go back and look at go to 495metro.com and take a look at the different episodes, you'll see how we progress forward to this point. And this is just a continuing reinvention of oneself, and many people are actually doing that right now. So I think that as we're heating up here, I'm going to leave you to do that, because I know nothing about wok cooking.
Wok cooking. Well, it has changed my life in terms of I do feel healthier, I feel lighter, I feel like I have more energy to do things. I feel like I'm keeping myself from having to go to the doctors because I'm enjoying healthy living, healthy foods. I'm exploring how to use different herbs and other sweeteners to make foods that I like, taste that I like. And that's one of the things that I encourage everybody. If you know the taste that you love, the different taste of foods that you like, to try to find foods and flavors that go to that so you won't feel like you're eating such a bland diet. I can honestly say that eating this way, I have not enjoyed. I mean, I was a big sweet eater. Every day I'd have a cookie, ice cream, cake, chocolate. You could come to my house and there's a cabinet where there's full of junk food. But eating this way, I find that I don't even have the taste anymore for a lot of those things. And when I do eat sweet things, I make them myself. So I encourage everybody to perhaps, I'll have some of these recipes up on the 495metro.com within the next week, and I encourage everybody to just take one thing to see if you like eating less starchier foods, foods without flour that are binding, that helps to keep the weight on. And from all reviews, make people have health challenges. So I hope you enjoyed our show, and if you'd like to make any of my dishes, go to 495metro.com for the recipes. Thanks for tuning in to 495 Metro. Remember, today is a good day to start living the life you were meant to live so you can be the person you were meant to be. Until next time.